17. Our MS programs at McCombs are on the cutting edge of higher education. With a curriculum that is based on theoretical principles, but always translated to application, we're preparing business leaders to represent McCombs in a variety of areas. We wouldn't be able to offer this without the work of our amazing faculty members from the McCombs School and really across campus. They're committed to these programs. Please join me in thankfully helping them to celebrating their presence here today. I also want to thank our advisory councils. Each MS program is very fortunate to have an outstanding group of supporters, and they play a large role in the success of our students. We wouldn't be able to offer many of the extracurricular activities that make our programs stand out without their efforts. Thank you to all the advisory council members that remain steadfast supporters of all McCombs initiatives. Finally, let me take this opportunity to also thank our dean, Jay Hartzell, who was there at the beginning of the MSF program back when he was department chair of finance. It was a strong impetus really for the start of all of these great MS programs. We thank you for your continued support of our programs, Jay. I would also like to acknowledge the chairs of our departments, Wayne Hoyer from marketing, Bob Perino from finance, and Steve Gilbert from IROM for their support of the programs. Finally, down there at the end of the first row, I want to personally thank Greg Hallman. Greg started up the MSF program and was a director for the first 4 years. Greg, you've built a great foundation. Now back to the class of 2017. You're all about to become an extension of our MS programs beyond the UT campus. Our ultimate measure of success will be your achievements. As I mentioned earlier, you've already made us proud, but we're also certain that you'll continue to make us proud. That also means that you're now about to become great ambassadors for our programs. We hope that you'll take pride in being Texas X's and McCombs alums. We hope that you will stay connected with us and continue to be involved with our programs. We hope you will do things like refer talented students to our programs, help spread our brand, help recruit prospective students by sharing your UT story, and perhaps becoming involved with mentoring current students. Don't forget that UT and McCombs are now a permanent part of who each of you are. Good luck to all of you, congratulations, and hook 'em.
Good afternoon. It's my privilege today to introduce the Dean of the McCombs School of Business, Jay Hartzell. As Joe mentioned, Jay has always been a great supporter of these programs and our faculty. And I want to diverge for just a second to talk about a specific example of that support. And it started with a tragic incident that happened last fall. Those of you who are the graduates likely did not have the opportunity to have Frankel Terhofstad as a faculty member, but he taught in the MS Business Analytics program as well as throughout the marketing programs, focusing on quantitative analysis in marketing. And Frankel was tragically taken from us last fall, and it had a deep impact on many of us, particularly in the faculty who are colleagues and friends. And so in his honor, we started taking donations to create an endowed scholarship in the name of Frankel Terhofstad to support future students, particularly in the MS programs, but potentially throughout McCombs, who are focused on quantitative analysis in the marketing arena. And as we put that together, we had a very specific dollar goal to have that reach the point where it could be endowed. And we put out flyers, we sent out emails, we did a solicitation across alumni and fellow faculty members and so on, and we got really close. We got close. And we went over the top this week, and we went over the top this week specifically because of the generosity of Jay and reallocating some funds that he had at his discretion. And so I am pleased to announce that officially, beginning in the fall of 2018, we will have the Frankel Terhofstad Endowed Scholarship for the study of quantitative analysis. So Jay, thank you for that. J.C. Hartzell is the 12th Dean of the McCombs School of Business at the University of Texas at Austin, one of the largest and most distinguished business schools in the country. He joined UT in 2001 after teaching at New York University's Stern School of Business, and prior to his current role, he held several key administrative roles at the McCombs School. His most notable positions include his service as Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Chair of the Finance Department, and Executive Director of the McCombs School Real Estate Finance and Investment Center, and as you heard earlier, was really the founding father of the MSF program. Dr. Hartzell holds the Centennial Chair in Business Education Leadership and the Trammell Crow Regents Professorship in Business. He holds a BS in Business Administration and Economics cum laude from Trinity University and a PhD in Finance from the University of Texas at Austin. His research focuses on real estate finance, corporate finance, and corporate governance. His articles have been published in the leading journals in the field, including the Journal of Finance, Journal of Financial Economics, Real Estate Economics, and the Review of Financial Studies. Dr. Hartzell serves on the editorial board of Real Estate Economics, and he served as an associate editor of the Review of Financial Studies and as a member of the board of directors of the American Real Estate and Urban Economics Association. In addition to his academic experience, Dr. Hartzell previously worked as a consultant with Hewitt Associates. We turn today's program over to him for the introduction of the commencement speaker.
Thank you very much, Mike, and I apologize that in the program was the long version of the bio. Here's the dean is fine with me. I want to give my welcome and go a little off script at the risk of flubbing it, but as dean, I feel like all the degree programs in some sense are part of our family, and as a good parent, I would say I love all my children, but this is a group I have special affinity for. And I was reflecting upon it this morning. We were in our BBA commencement, and it was the 100th commencement of our undergraduate program. So we were celebrating the 100th anniversary of that incredible program, and it's such a nice bookend to the morning, to the day, to come here and see the graduates of the 3 newest degree programs at the business school. And what a difference I think that our faculty and our leadership has made, we hope, in your lives and the trajectories of your careers. And so it's just a really fulfilling day for all of us. It really reminds us what it's all about. So congratulations and welcome. So as the dean, it's my honor and pleasure to join all the parents and relatives and friends of our MS programs for this momentous commencement celebration. Graduation is an exciting time, represents the end of one journey and the beginning of new challenges and opportunities. You've earned this day and should be proud of all of your hard work. As you know, graduate school is a rewarding but rigorous journey. During your academic pursuits, you've gained an important amount of knowledge, formed strong bonds with your classmates, built trust across different personalities, and extended your network for years to come. You've brought passion to your education, a passion combined with the knowledge and skills you've acquired that will translate into enhancing your careers and your future prospects. Graduates, today is a time to pause and reflect on all that you've accomplished and look forward to all that you will become. As you make your way, it's our hope that you will build upon that trust, value those networks, reinvest that passion in your continued involvement with the McCombs School. We want to see you again over and over. Some of you less often than others, but in general, over and over. Join the alumni network, accept a committee placement, serve on one of our boards, give of your time, bring your donations to help the future students of these programs. Truly, one of the greatest assets of the McCombs School of Business is its alumni network, and that's a network you are soon to join. And by your continued investment in that network and our school more broadly, you're adding value to your degrees and those of previous and future generations. This afternoon, we are honored to award you a master's degree from the University of Texas at Austin. And as you begin your lives beyond the 40 acres, we couldn't be more proud to call you alumni of the McCombs School of Business. Congratulations. This time it's my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker for the day, Mr. Tony Rogers. Our speaker today is a valued partner of ours who continually demonstrates a deep commitment to the McCombs School. Tony Rogers graduated from the McCombs School of Business with a BBA degree in accounting and an MBA with a focus in marketing. Tony's been a champion of the McCombs School of Business since his time here and has continued to invest his time to improve opportunities for our students. Tony is Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of Walmart U.S., where he's responsible for all aspects of Walmart's marketing efforts, including customer research, strategy, program development, branding, and customer communications. Leading up to his current role, Tony served as Chief Marketing Officer for Walmart China. Prior to his impressive career at Walmart, Tony spent 6 years in PepsiCo's Frito-Lay division in a number of marketing roles. Please join me in welcoming Tony here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Hartzell. You talked about the long version of your bio, then you read the long version of my bio. My wife saw that picture that's in the brochure, and she said, "Man, you're really hanging on to that picture, aren't you?" All right, so find my glasses here. So first, let me just say thanks to you, Dean Hartzell, and distinguished faculty, particularly the one on the end there, Dr. Hoyer, who's had a huge role in my academic and professional life, along with Dr. Bronny Archik and Dr. Lee McAllister. And welcome to all of the families who've made this possible for these guys right here. And hello to you. Congratulations to you all. It's really an honor to be here, and I did have the good fortune to graduate from UT twice. And I can tell you that going through the program 2 times, when you're in it, you feel like you're not even sure if you're going to get through the program, much less ever be standing up here doing a graduation speech. And some of you guys probably feel the same way. And in the not too distant future, some of you will probably be standing up right here. So I hope that happens. And I got to tell you, it's pretty sweet. Pretty nice. So I hope I can do 2 things today. And before I tell you what those two things are, I'm going to tell you kind of a funny story. So my beautiful wife, Tanya, is here. My two kids, a good friend of mine, Troy Geyer, is here. Troy's such a big UT fan, he names his son Vince. So my wife, we live near Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the University of Arkansas is. And so my wife was buying a dress for this occasion, and she was talking to the store associate who was helping her with this dress, and it came up what the occasion was. And the young lady said, well, it's funny, I just went to my graduation yesterday. And so my wife said, well, great, my husband's doing the speech, you got any tips? And she said, well, so my wife says, well, what'd the guy say? And she goes, well, I don't really remember. I think it was something about how much he liked the school. So this was like the day after the speech. So I used that little story to redefine my standard of success here today. My goal is that by noon tomorrow, you'll retain some nugget of information that I give you that may someday help you be successful in your career and in your life. The second thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you how much I love this school. And in fact, we'll do that part first. This is an amazing place, and I think you know that, but this is an amazing place that's about to bestow a master's degree upon you. And I've done a little bit of reflecting. Maybe it's because I'm about to turn 50, or maybe it's because I'm about to give a graduation speech. But I started thinking about the last 30 years and the role that UT has played in that. And I really came to the conclusion that pretty much everything good that's happened to me in the last 30 or so years of my life has been due to some combination of God and the University of Texas. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I showed up here as an awkward freshman in 1986. I made friends during that time that are still my friends today, 30 or more years later. I met my beautiful wife here, and I got my first job as a CPA because I graduated from the #1 accounting program in the world. And even when I wanted to completely rebrand myself 5 years later and move from being an accountant to a marketing person, where did I turn to do that? The University of Texas. And so UT has come through for me time and time again in my life. And it really doesn't even stop there. Even to this day, UT opens doors for me almost every day. As Dr. Hartzell mentioned, we lived in China for a couple years. You can't imagine the network of Longhorns that exists across Asia. I also lived in another distant and mysterious place, Arkansas. And there is a huge network. We call it the Longhorn Mafia inside of Walmart. And I can just tell you, wherever you go, the force is strong. The force is strong. And I sat down last night and I started thinking about, it's not just the network, but it's also the talent that comes out of this place. And between the years in accounting and the years in marketing, I think I've personally been involved in hiring over 100 people from the school. And I'll tell you what, the places I've worked, we've hired, whether it's accounting or marketing, we go to the best schools in the country. And we've had so much success across so many companies and across so many disciplines here at this school that we've talked a lot about why that is. And I've really come to the conclusion that there's something magical that happens here. And I think you come out of this place and you are infused with a pretty unique blend of confidence and humility. And I've found that the typical, and I'm generalizing, but the typical UT grad, what kind of makes them special is you can take them and put them in a strategy conversation with the CEO of your company, and on the same day, have them roll up their sleeves and go interact with a store manager at Walmart or a route driver at Frito-Lay or somebody that works in a Pillsbury plant making biscuits. And that ability to interact and relate and resonate at all different levels of a company and just in society, I really think is what makes UT graduates special. And so I just would close with this. And Dr. Hartzell alluded to this, don't let this be the end of UT as a chapter in your life. Recognize that you have the benefit of being part of something that's really special and does not exist at every school. And accept that this is now a part of what defines you. and really build on that and trade on that for the rest of your career and the rest of your life. All right, so that's the UT part. Hook 'em. All right, I'm going to give you 3 things to think about for your career. And here's a little bonus nugget. Always do 3 things. If you do 2 things, people kind of want that 3rd thing. If you do 4 things, it kind of goes on too long. Always do 3 things. Here's my 3 things, okay? And it's going to be purpose, performance, and people. All right? Here's the first one, purpose. So why are you going to get out of bed every day? Why is it going to matter? Okay? I want you to think about that. Because if it's just going to be about money, it's not going to sustain you. Okay? It's not about money. And I'm going to share with you my favorite quote that my dad ever gave me, my favorite piece of advice that my dad ever gave me. He said, figure out what it is that you love to do, and then figure out how to get paid to do it. Figure out what it is that you love to do, and then figure out how to get paid to do it. And just the fact that you guys, and I was talking to Dr. Hartzell about this a second ago, just the fact that you guys chose this really emerging discipline, it already gives me a lot of confidence that you already think that way. You've chosen an emerging field that I can promise you is in the process of exploding. And I think about my own career as a marketer. When I first started being a marketer, it was really more about making advertisements and a lot more art than science. And I can tell you now, it's 90% science. 90% science, and that's marketing. And so I really applaud you guys for having the foresight to go and choose this as a major, and I think it's going to serve you quite well. But within that, think about what part of that it is that you love, and then figure out how to get paid to do it. There are going to be times where you spend more time with your coworkers than you do with your family. And you're just going to have to love what you do if you're going to give it everything that you have. I'll share a personal story with you. I had the good fortune to come across a man named Roy Spence. And Roy runs an ad agency here in Austin called GSD&M. And Roy taught me, and by the way, he's a Longhorn. Roy taught me about this part of marketing called purpose-based branding. And he took me to Southwest Airlines, which was one of his clients. And he had people at Southwest Airlines explain to me how their company has a purpose beyond just making money. They give people the freedom to fly because they lower the cost of air travel. And they told stories like baggage handlers who have to work on Christmas Eve, but they're happy to do it because they know that by working on Christmas Eve, they're helping families be with the ones they care about. And so it gives them a sense of purpose beyond just making money. And so for me, wow, once I was exposed to that, I decided that's going to be my thing. I'm passionate about that, and I will do that for a living, even if I have to do it for minimum wage. And that's what I mean. Figure out what it is for you that's going to cause you to love going to work every day. And if you can find that, the process of going to work won't really feel like going to work. So that's the first one. Figure out what your purpose is, find out what you love to do, and figure out how to get paid to do it. The second nugget that I'm going to bestow on you is about performance. So, once you've discovered that thing it is that you love and you figured out how to get paid to do it, be awesome at it. Do it really, really well. Don't settle for average. Be amazing. And I want to tell you another example from my background to make the point. One of the projects that we had at where I work now at Walmart is several years ago, we had the task of rebranding the company. And this is if you're in marketing, this is a pretty standard project. You come in, you do a positioning study, a lot of quantitative, qualitative research, and you find a new way to position and brand the company. Maybe you have a new logo, a new tagline, new advertising, that kind of thing. And we did that, and we had a lot of fun, and we get to do that. And if you see a Walmart commercial today or go to a store, you'll see the evidence of that project. But what made that project special is, and I just told you the thing I'm passionate about is purpose-based marketing. Turns out there's a group of people that are disciples of this kind of marketing, and so I went and got a bunch of those guys to do this project. And so they did all the stuff I just mentioned, but then because they're passionate about this area of purpose, they went deeper. And they went into the archives of the company and spent hours and days and weeks digging through the archives of the company, trying to find this magic thing that would unlock the real power of the brand. And our company happens to have this iconic founder named Sam Walton. And they went and they found this video of Sam Walton, 1992, receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom from George Bush. It's the highest civilian award in the country. And in his speech, and this is Sam Walton, it's 1992, it's the last year of his life. He's very sick with cancer. He utters his last public words, which are meant to be his legacy for the company. And what he said is, if we work together, we'll give the world an opportunity to see what it's like to save and have a better life. And so we took that, we're like, oh my God, this is it. And not only did we rebrand the company, but we changed the mission statement of the company, which wasn't really part of the mission, wasn't part of the project. And so you can go around now and talk to just about anyone that works at Walmart, and they'll play some version of that back to you as, hey, this is the mission statement of the company. And my point in telling that to you is, some new marketing guy is going to come along. I'm sure there'll be a different Walmart logo at some point in the future, a different tagline, different advertising. But you change the mission statement of a company, and that lasts. And so I just encourage you, whatever project it is, whatever profession you're in, go that extra mile, dig deep, and figure out what it is that you can do that's really going to last, really make an impact. So it's about finding your purpose, and then it's about just performing and just being awesome. Okay, here is my third P, and it's people. And I want to tell you a little story here about a study that I came across recently, and some of you guys may have seen this. So there was a Harvard study that was done, and the point of the study was to figure out what is the one secret to living a fulfilling life. What's the one thing that could unlock you living a fulfilling life? To do this study, they did the study over 75 years. Study lasted so long, they had generations of researchers that had to come through and pick up where their previous generation had left off. 75 years. They tracked two groups of people. They tracked about 500 lower income people from the Boston area between 1939 and 2014. And then the second group was about 300 Harvard grads from the classes of 1939 through 1944. And they tracked all these people for all this time. And they did quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, biological samples, brain scans, you name it. And they found in all this analysis that one thing surpassed all others in order of importance. In other words, one thing that could unlock the secret of living a fulfilling life based on this research. And I'll read it verbatim because I don't want to get it wrong. They said, the clearest message we get from this 75-year study is this: good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. All 75 years of research came down to that. So if you think about it, the biggest predictor of happiness and fulfillment in life is basically love. It's basically comes down to love. So that's not what you thought you're going to get from a Masters of Science graduation speech, is it? Yeah, it's about love. And so, in a surprise twist, this is advanced three things stuff here. I'm going to pivot off the three P's, and I'm going to give you three L's. Okay? Stay with me. Three L's as you leave here today. Maybe by noon tomorrow, these things will still be sticking in your brain. One, love this university. Love this university. You are so fortunate to have been some of the select few that can pass through these halls. And for the rest of your life, you're going to benefit from being a Longhorn. Embrace it and love this university. Two, we talked about this a lot, love what you do. Love it because of what it is and not because of what it pays you and not because of the material rewards it brings. But love it because you love it. If you do that, the other stuff will take care of itself because you will be awesome at the thing you do. And third is love the people around you. Love the people around you that are going to be with you on this journey that you're about to embark on. because they are the ones that, when you're on your deathbed, they are the ones that you're going to point to and that you're going to say, that's what mattered in my life. All right, so I'm just going to close by saying congratulations to you guys and to all the people around you who've made today possible. God bless you, and God bless the University of Texas. Hook 'em horns.
Thank you, Tony, for your inspiring remarks that I will definitely remember beyond noon tomorrow. And thank you for your dedication to the McCombs School of Business. It is now time for the Commencement Awards. The Student Executive Committee recently hosted an awards banquet where the students celebrated their successes at the end of a great year. We would like to acknowledge all the students that received an award from their fellow students. As we announce your names, please stand and be recognized. Gerardo Aponte. Vishwa Bhutta. Rachel Carr. Danny Farrington. Stacy Johnson. Chandler Nunez. Elizabeth Stuckman. Lindsay Tober. And Billy Wan. Congratulations to you all. This year has proved to be a challenging one for our students. They are required to balance a course load much heavier than what most graduate students carry while working their way through a rigorous recruitment process. These students showcased academic performance, teamwork, and a positive impact on the class. Thank you for your leadership while here on campus. We will now present the faculty awards for each program. I will first introduce you to Lindsay Tober. She will say a few words and then present the award to our MS Business Analytics Outstanding Faculty Member for the 2016-17 academic year. Lindsay Tober.
Good afternoon, fellow graduates. We have made it this far, so give yourselves a big pat on the back. You deserve it. I want to welcome our family and friends here to celebrate with us today, and thank you all for making the journey near or far to be with us. I would also like to thank the faculty and program staff, many of whom are seated on stage or up in the front. Thank you for investing in us and supporting us over the course of this past year. None of us would be here today if it weren't for you. Well, I'm honored to be standing in front of you as a representative for our MSBA class of 2017. When I was given instruction for this speech, they said to share some anecdotes for the year. And the first thing that came to my mind, embarrassingly enough, was how do you make stochastic gradient descent anecdotal? So here goes nothing. Fellow classmates, we have come a long way from predicting car prices with an RMSE of $14,000. Although I do think it's quite poetic, we bookended the year with Professor Sager reminding us just how little we understand math. Though we have made significant progress since last July. Looking back on the year, there are 3 lessons that I want to remind us of as we head into the great unknown. First, never underestimate the power of visual aids and props. Learning about pandas was made that much better with pictures of pandas, and I don't think any of us will forget what it means for a time series to be level after Professor Sager whipped out his belt. Second, a big part of being a data scientist is learning new vocabulary. To preface this, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a program with a higher level of vocabulary learning rates over such a short period of time. After this program, I don't think we have a normal understanding of things like bias, lasso, significance, or unsupervised versus supervised, or for that matter, a normal understanding of the word normal. We have a new normal, normal distributions, first, second, third normal form, and we picked up a whole host of completely new terms: Hadoop, stochastic, Little's Law, n-grams, parametric, ARIMA, conjoint, logit, and data munging. Thanks to you guys. Well, we won't be saying, I got this data set from Kaggle anymore. The rest of our vocabulary has armed us for roles in marketing, customer experience, planning, revenue management, consulting, you name it. And our vocabulary will only continue to grow as we head on to the real world. Third and most important, we learn never to forget to pass it on or to pass it forward. I think one of the most telling things about this program is the number of alumni still actively involved. Between panels, info sessions, and recruiting events, we saw students from 1 to 3 years ago come back to invest in our class. From hearing about different career options to the mock technical interviews instilling great confidence in us, we benefited so much from previous students who are willing to come back and spend time with us. We were able to get a taste of this as well when we helped out with UT's Girl Day and taught 4th through 8th graders about the business and technology skills required to build their own app, thinking further about teaching the next generation. At the end of the day, this year has been a great lesson that we can do hard things and emerge, if not victorious, at least with a diploma. We each spent 400 to 500 hours in GSB 5.142, or collectively around 23,000 hours. No matter where we go, we will never forget our humble beginnings with Fact Coffee and getting confused with Professor Ghost's asterisk slides. Just remember, if all else fails, we're smart casual and say, it's okay, I'm a Bayesian. Now, I did my undergrad at UT as well, and two of the many things I love about the university are the words on the tower: you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, which is from the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verse 32, and the slogan, what starts here changes the world. I wanted to share a Margaret Mead quote I think is somewhat related. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. We are 51 people out of thousands graduating today and tomorrow, and we will go on to be parts of likely small teams across different industries. But we are blessed to be on the forefront of a major disruption, and I think we have the opportunity to change the companies we will work for and the industries we'll be working in. We are small but mighty, and we have the power to make ripples that could truly change the world if we pursue truth. You are women and gentlemen and scholars, and I, for one, am better, sharper, and stronger for knowing you. And now, as I wrap up, it is my great honor to get to present this year's Faculty Award as voted by our class. We have an incredible set of faculty for the MSBA program, and have been so lucky to learn under these folks who simultaneously make us consider and reject the idea of getting a PhD. Now, I knew that there was something special about this specific professor when he spent 15 minutes one class period making sure that he put standard deviation in its place as the PowerPoint of variance. It's not just because he subjected himself to the humiliation of live coding in front of our class, or the nostalgia we got from him using an overhead projector, or the fact that our chances in Vegas have significantly improved now that we know the Bellman equation. He made optimization engaging, and I've heard from multiple people that they would gladly sit through the course again just to have him as a professor. So for the third year running, I'd like to present the MSBA Faculty Award to Professor Kumar Muthuraman. Please join me in congratulating him on this well-deserved award.
I would like to next introduce you to Chandler Nunez, who will also say a few words before presenting the award to our MS Marketing Outstanding Faculty Member for the 2016-17 academic year.
So I think there's still a lot of confusion about the MSN program. For example, people still can't tell me and Amanda apart. Obviously, it doesn't help we're wearing the same outfit today, but you know, her hair's a little lighter than mine. But as the first class of Masters in Marketing students, we get a lot of questions. So you're all in advertising, right? Or what do you do with a degree like that? And plenty of assumptions. I bet you guys are really good at sales. For the record, only one of us is in advertising, and she's an analyst, and the only sales we make is to basically anyone that will hear about the program. So what is MSM? It's a lot of failing fast, failing forward, and trailblazing the best we can. We're smart, we're creative, we're a little bit weird, but we're incredibly close-knit. We're more than a class, because with just 14 people, we're more like a family. When we started school, we bonded over things like Pokemon Go, Chick-fil-A, because honestly, that's about all we had in common with each other. We are so incredibly different. Katie is an Ivy League athlete who can't eat gluten. Danny is a pro at analytics and is one of the nicest people you will ever meet. Quaid is so ridiculously interesting that I have just a list of things that he says, because when you hear about how amazing his life is, you don't believe that it's real at first. With backgrounds in PR, chemistry, service in the Army, you might wonder how such a group could function, and all I'll say is over a few pitchers of margaritas, anything is possible. I will miss seeing these 13 special individuals every day. I will miss Ross's dad jokes. I'll miss Vod's willingness to drink at Cactus Cafe after class, and Elizabeth's genuine kindness and enthusiasm. But most of all, I will miss professors asking Kayla what is so funny, and her honest answers like, I was just thinking about when I saw Sandy Leeds, and I was trying not to make eye contact, and that was just funny to me. But leaving this program, I have 13 people I know that I can call on for advice and adventure. In Cron, I have someone who will always be down to go to Europe with me. Javier, who is always willing to talk business, music, and all things life. And Kelsey, who is always understanding of my junk food obsession. There are memories that I cherish with this group of people, like the time Yeely ordered a Philly cheesesteak sandwich and was confused as to why it was a sandwich, because it was just called a Philly cheesesteak, which, to be fair, is very confusing. And then there are memories I'd like to forget, like the time that I was showing my classmates how young and cool our Professor Adrian is, and Amanda clicked add friend on Facebook. So sorry. Aside from getting our masters, this has been a big year for us. In this small class, we've had an engagement, a wedding, a new house, a new baby, and only a few of those milestones were covered by Javier. We've competed nationally at analytics challenges, ran triathlons, marched in a halftime show, and played drums in a local band. Behind the scenes, we've had a lot of help to be in the room today. On behalf of the class, I'd like to thank our wonderful professors who are so invested in our growth, the MS program team for their ongoing dedication, and to our significant others, roommates, best friends, and families for their continued support. So now what? We're off to change the world. And in the words of Harvard's top lawyer, Elle Woods, just remember, you must always have faith in others, but most importantly, you must always have faith in yourself. To the class of 2017, we did it. And in the words of Professor Kevin Williams, if things don't work out, just fire management, break up the company, and sell it off in pieces. Thank you. There is one professor who truly went above and beyond for the MSM class. When tragedy struck and we lost Professor Terhofstadt, this professor stepped up to teach us again in marketing analytics too. It is my honor to present the Faculty Award as voted on by the MSM class of 2017 to the man who taught us to go on a date with the data, Professor Ty Henderson.
finally, let me introduce Rachel Carr, who will say a few words and present the award to our MS Finance Outstanding Faculty Member for the 2016-17 academic year, as selected by our students.
Director Joe Hahn, McCombs faculty, family, friends, and fellow MSF class of 2017, congratulations, we made it out alive. Who knew 10 months could pass so fast, yet so slow? I feel very honored to speak on behalf of a body of extremely intelligent, personable, and uplifting people. Each and every one of you has helped shape and mold my 10 months here at UT, and I couldn't have asked for a better cohort to experience it with. First off, I think we need to thank all of our family and friends for their continuous support, despite numerous calls home fearing for our grades and future. Parents, we all applaud your patience, and of course your money. I'm sure the parents' real celebrations begin when we officially start our jobs and successfully fall off the payroll. The countdown is finally over. We also need to remember to thank ourselves and each other for all of our hard work. Some of my most memorable teachers have been you all. Wait, y'all. One thing that I will definitely take away from these classes is never stop asking questions, ever. Stan, you are ever the curious soul. My favorite moments being when you not only stump the entire class, but also the teachers. Your curiosity and your pursuit of knowledge is admirable, so keep asking those questions. We also have to thank Wilson and Gerardo, for their assistance in the back of the room when the rest of us had no idea what was going on in class. You two helped make sure we looked at least reasonably competent. The diversity of this course is also something that I'm sure has helped us to develop strong friendships. With students hailing from countries like Turkey, Belgium, and El Salvador, and undergraduates representing colleges all over the world, and athletes who played sports like tennis and basketball, we represent the multicultural identity UT embodies and strives for. Between the numerous MSF intramural teams created this year, with some wins and championship titles, others with losses, these teams portray our eagerness to collaborate, share, and develop skills. Stephen Lauterbach, for one, will be leaving 15 intramural teams scrambling for worthy replacements with his graduation today. Not surprisingly, after only a few weeks on the course, we all felt quite comfortable with each other. Whether it was our sweaty 100-degree team-building activities, evenings spent at the newly titled ranch, thanks to my expertly developed Texan accent, or attending our first UT football game of the season, uniting for our amazing win against Notre Dame. Sorry, Leo. We have grown closer as a cohort and as friends. Yet, in leaving McCombs, the MSF, and each other, one thing we should all remember: to live our lives with passion, to discover our goals and dreams, and work to achieve them. Don't ever stop asking why, and always aim to enrich your knowledge. And talking of enriching our knowledge, while we may still not know what smart casual entails, I, for one, am leaving here richer with not only the finance expertise necessary to succeed in a career, but with a wealth of friends and experiences that will live with me a lifetime. I have every single one of you to thank for that. I am so proud to call you all my classmates and my friends. But looking back to the first day of school, I wasn't so sure. I was worried about what a room full of Type A's would result in. But the admissions team did a fantastic job of finding like-minded, intelligent people who were willing to collaborate and learn. Scott, thank you for keeping us all grounded and in check this year, and for being a friend and confidant to so many of us here. Abby, thank you for your ceaseless efforts. Your devotion of time and energy to our career goals and aspirations resulted in many of us achieving jobs and positions we could have only dreamed about. Thank you to the MSF program coordinators who worked behind the scenes to ensure that everything ran smoothly. Also, a special thank you to Joe Hahn, our program director, for being a great leader and teacher, especially in the summer course when so many of us didn't understand what a DCF stood for, let alone know how to calculate one. And lastly, thank you to our Advisory Council members, whose dedication to this program and its success is one I am sure we all will hope to emulate and support in the coming years. We also cannot forget to thank the professors who have taught us not only the finance and industry knowledge, but life advice that will last us our entire professional careers. They took a class full of engineers, economists, lawyers, and mathematicians, to name a few, and turned us into the Masters of Science graduates you see here today. Their ability to incorporate such energy and enthusiasm for their subjects inspired us all to want to know more. We left each class choosing to learn, as opposed to feeling required to learn. While the evenings spent before assignment due dates were not the most representative of our feelings towards you all, we all know and believe the professors here are unparalleled. And I, for one, have learned more than I thought possible in the past 10 months. Just one example that has stuck with me is something that Professor Wiles taught us on our last day of private equity. Being good at what you do is only the beginning. He taught us that to be great, you have to fail, and the importance of focusing on the process and not the outcome. This is something that resonated with our entire class. We're going out into the world to prove our skills, not only to our employers, but also to ourselves. Scary, right? So, fellow master's students, I wish you all health, wealth, and a future career that meets all of your best possible aspirations. Congratulations. I do have one final task to perform, which I do with honor and absolute pleasure. Even with the outstanding faculty I mentioned earlier, one professor stood out this year, and rightfully so. With his beliefs in how one should conduct themselves, and his ability to always be prepared, and the skill to impart so much information in class, I never heard a single negative comment made about this professor. He treated us all as equals throughout the course, and as such, held high standards for all of us, for we were graduate students now. His support for our education and pursuit of knowledge did not extend only to our classroom discussions, but through additional optional lectures. Many of us know the time and effort he took to teach us not only investment theory, but wider world financial and economic knowledge that would extend far beyond the classroom. So, this year, it is my privilege to announce that the class of 2017 has voted to honor Professor Sandy Leeds with the Faculty of the Year Award.
And now the moment we've been looking forward to. We're going to acknowledge each of the graduates individually. We're going to start now with the MSBA graduates, class of 2017. Nimish Kumar Amlate. Brooks Samuel Beckelman. Vishwa Tushar Bhutta. Zach Bilderback. Anurag Chilakuri. Vincent Shenhun Chow. Amanda Dawn Coker. Zina Draku. Akshara Dundi Mohan. Nicole Elizabeth Eric. Anthony Garino. Esteban Gonzalez. Christina Midori Graves. Emily Kate Graves. Jun Yo. Marissa Joy Hausman. Mugna He. Olivia Hong. In a moment. Olivia Hong. Eric Christian Honore. Hey, buddy. Anqi Huang. Ashley Sean Kessel. Nikita Lekotia. Anying Lee. Ryan Chris Moss. Stuthi Madan. Caroline Elise Nelson. Tyler Ashton Nicholas. Guangzhou Peng. Hitesh Prabhu. Hillary Rose Reagan. Valerie Ann Roth. Dan Alexander Rosenbrook. Victoria Carolina Salido. Catherine Rose Sheline. Chase Jared Slocum. Matthew Michael Staten. Lindsay Allison Tober. Kayla Torres. Davis Lee Townsend. Arjun Varma. Jiaqiu Wang. Qing Wang. Li Yaoshuan Yao. Zone Yu. Jonathan Alden Zeller. So now I'm going to turn the mic over to my colleague Joe Hahn, who will introduce the MSF graduates.
This is our fifth class of the MSF program, the class of 2017. Gerardo Aponte Alvarez. Emma Tudor Burrell. Philip Bourgeois. James Ryan Boutwell. Rachel Louise Carr. Daniel Carrasco, Jr. Victor Michael Cleveland. Kelly Whitman Cochran. Myra Diaz. Darius Abrahami. James Eric Frazier Gabink. Michelle Gong. Lana Hronovic. Brady Curtis Hodenfeld. Brett Michael Briscoe. Michael Hu. Maggie Hui. Rachel Lynn Iwanicki. Wilson Thomas Jakovich. Stacy Johnson. Roger Kelsey. Dylan Hall Kennedy. Stephen Kirk Lauterbach II. Leo Edward Lindbeck IV. William Whitman Maddox. Bernard Connor Mannon. Samuel Williams McAllister II. Robert Mitchell Parker. Stan Rezaei. Garrett Rex Rogers. Mitchell Lawrence Rogers. David William Rowe. Abdullah Arkam Saeed Ali. Nicholas Ryan Self. Charles Alexander Shoemaker. Leah Klein Spalding. Cameron J. Spence. Terry Lynn Stewart, Jr. Megan Elaine Taylor. Gordon Frederick Titman. John Chris Turnage, Jr. Fangjung Wei. Wei Zhang.
Finally, with pride, we announce the first graduating class for the MS in Marketing program. Javier Victor de Tegel. Daniel Travis Farrington. Kelsey Megan Hart. Catherine Hunter Jarrett. Ross Elon Jenkins. Quade Brinson Coker. Kayla Lee Larson. Yili Ling. Amanda Marie Novak. Chandler Elizabeth Nunez. John Patrick Perrier. Fad Saeed. Karan Singhi. Elizabeth Mary Stuckman. Please give a final round of applause for all of our graduates. We ask that faculty and graduates recess to the lawn at the conclusion of the singing of the Eyes of Texas, where we will take a group photo. Family and friends, please meet your graduates there. You are all invited to join the graduates, faculty, and administration at the reception in the stadium to continue the celebration. And now it is a tradition that we join our new graduates in singing The Eyes of Texas. After the song, please remain standing during the faculty procession. Please rise.